Hello everyone, welcome back to One Piece. This is episodes 819, 820, 821, and 822. The last video was so good. We had 3 amazing episodes. I really enjoyed it. I had such a fun time watching the last episodes that I've been so excited to watch One Piece. I'm also ahead on videos right now as I'm recording this video, and I think it's because for One Piece, I was doing so many extra videos, you know, like working on the Dressrosa skit, and not the Dressrosa skit, the Whole Cake Island skit, and working on the dub and for the April Fool's Day, and like a bunch of other stuff that that I was so busy during that time. And now that that's cleared up and I don't have to do that anymore, I'm now just straight regular making videos. Also, since we're moving into a new anime season, at the time I'm recording this video, when you're watching this video on YouTube, it's weeks and weeks into a new anime season, but right now as I'm recording it, it's the new anime season, and so there's also just it's kind of empty right now as new shows are still just getting started. So I have extra time to record these other shows that I'm doing, these shows that older shows that I watch, such as One Piece, such as Apothecary Diaries I'm doing on my channel right now, such as Fate Zero I'm doing. So having more time to do that is great, because it means I feel like watching One Piece. I only watched the last 3 episodes a couple days ago or something. I'm watching it again. I'm watching more One Piece immediately. I'm so excited. So yeah, we're gonna jump into this, but I do want to say, at the top of this video, because in the last video we got revealed that Pudding is actually evil, and she's got that third eye on her head and all of that. Someone pointed out, and actually I'll get the name, Beranzan on my Patreon account pointed this out. Now, if you also commented this on my YouTube video or something when that comes out, then I apologize. Obviously, I post this on Patreon 3 weeks before I post any of these videos on YouTube. So the Patreon, most of the time when I get informed of something, it's the people on Patreon telling me that stuff. But yeah, I was told by Baranzan that we've actually seen Pudding with her 3 eyes. And they told me it was on episode 571, and I said okay, we've seen Pudding. I guess maybe when I go back to that, there's gonna be a shot of Big Mom, and in the background there's gonna be her crew, and you can maybe see Pudding there, and you can probably see the 3 eyes there, and so if you're looking in the background, you can notice her there and pick it up. So I went back to the episode to see, and oh my gosh, this is the clip from the episode. It just straight up shows her that's not up for debate. It's not oh, she's kind of in the background or whatever. It shows her on screen, and she has a very clear design, you know, it's very clearly you know, an interesting character. And the 3 eyes is something that you'd think would stick in your head. It apparently didn't for me, because I completely forgot that character was there. But to be honest, when we get introduced to a new crew or something, or they tease a new crew, I tend to kind of in my head I go oh, well, that's interesting, and then I file it away, because I'm but I don't need to know that right now. There's too much stuff going on in this show that I do need to know, so I tend to just go interesting and then put it away, and then I forget about it. But so I did not remember, I even went back in my notes. I don't think my notes had anything about a 3-eyed girl in it, but I did say in the reaction at that time, I'm pretty sure I said something along the lines of oh wow, a 3-eyed girl, that's cute, but oh, that's creepy but also kind of cute, or something like that. So I did comment on her and immediately kind of simped for her. So I just think it's very interesting going back and seeing my reaction, seeing I actually already knew there was a person with 3 eyes, and it's clearly her. Well, I say that, but also it is clearly her, but it also could not be. If you think about it, didn't we see someone who looked exactly like Lola, for example? So you could very well say oh, this is a different girl who is just like, who looks exactly like her in the same way, you know, like they have like other twins or whatever, right? So I'm guessing that is kind of the case. And she holds her hair kind of differently. And also, I mean, I think like, I'm just trying to think like, what would my mindset be if I remembered there was a three-eyed girl and then we met Pudding and I was like, hang on, wasn't that the girl with three eyes? I guess not. I guess it's a different person. Like, if I speculated back then, would I have been able to figure it out? Because that's what I imagined they were doing originally when the anime came out, or manga readers were originally doing, is like, I bet you they were trying to like piece together who it was. And so maybe some people, as soon as Pudding showed up, and she had two eyes, maybe they were immediately going like, no, she's fucking lying. This bitch is like, she's actually a snake and she's got three eyes and she's hiding it or something. I don't know. I have no idea. But regardless, very interesting. So thank you again for pointing that out to me, because that kind of blows my mind. Anyway, we're going to be jumping into more One Piece. I'm so excited. As I said, the last episodes were so great, and I can't wait to see what else this arc has in store for me. I really feel like this arc has like major potential to be like, you know, up there with some of my top arcs from what I've like seen so far. Like, it's kind of getting better and better as it goes on, and I feel like, you know, we're heading towards the middle of the arc, and so far the momentum has stayed up. Now, I don't want to jinx it. I hope that it continues throughout the arc, or like continues to even get better. But I don't know, but I am just saying, like, I think since the Biscuit fight, I feel like things have been like really great. Like, I think the Biscuit fight was good, like really good. Especially, you know, the reveal of who he was and the fourth gear and stuff fight. But I like, since they got out of that forest, like, this show has been like top tier. So let's jump into it. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. You can get the next 3 weeks or so of episodes on my Patreon account right now in full-length version, so go check that out. Or you can join my YouTube membership down below to get 1 week early on edited videos. Let's jump into this. This is One Piece episode 819, One Piece. Woo! Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. If you're new to this channel, this is the Recap Rubik's Cube. This is a Rubik's Cube that I do while the recap is going on, and my goal is to beat the recap. I tend to explain that at the top of every video, if I can remember. I almost forgot this time. And that's the cube complete. This episode is going to be called Luffy's attack. Luffy goes after Pudding. The lolly pillow's cute. I don't know if worrying is the right word for the Vin Smokes. Sanji. Oh shit. Yeah, I mean, you left one peacekeeper in charge. That peacekeeper couldn't do his job for 30 seconds. He was immediately taken out. You had your memories taken from you, girl. She's gonna be like, yeah, some peacekeepers shot me. Yeah. She's not sure of it, though. Yeah. Feels like it doesn't quite make sense. Does it work? Doesn't work. Do you have to beat up Mondor? Oh my god. Okay. Alright, I trust them. We're ready. Nami, Luffy will save you. He always does. Aww. Yep, it's gotta burn at your steaks or. Oh, it's on a skirt. Yes, there we go. Oh my god. Oh shit, the other people in the book. Aww. You okay, Nami? You might have just murdered. Oh my god! You might have just murdered people. Alright. Are you gonna wear that, Nami? Is that your clothes? Mm-hmm. So Luffy broke Jinbei out of prison and now Jinbei's broken Luffy out of prison. She is wearing that. Cute. Yep. Oh well. Guess I betrayed them. Yeah, that whole speech I made, whatever. I don't care about it anymore. Oh. Yeah, well, you haven't eaten since Sanji left. But he wants Sanji back. Which will be easier now, because Sanji knows he's been betrayed. And if you showed up to Sanji hungry, surely he doesn't turn you down. Also, he already made that food for Pudding, so maybe Luffy can just eat that. Yeah, it's risky. Oh my god. Aww. I'm glad. Yeah, she did. She was too perfect. But that's not an option anymore. Aww. Yes, I am. That's so nice. She's like, I only helped you once. You don't have to pay me back. Oh, I love Reiju. I love her. God damn. Huh. So wait, is this why Sanji isn't, like, it didn't work for Sanji? Oh my god. Sora? Did we know her name was Sora before? Hmm. Oh god. Oh, and Sanji was just so sweet. It's strange, but Sanji's acting like a normal kid. He's being nice and shit. No, you should cook those baby chicks. Make some chicken nuggets. Damn, man. Well, no, she died because of Judge, and but she did give you an extra chance because of that. Oh, and it made her so happy. Oh, they talked about Sanji so much. And she was just so relieved. Oh. That's so cute. No, I mean, yeah, there's no regret. I'm sensing absolutely no regret at all. She was so happy she did that. Oh. And she would have been so happy that he was crying at her grave, you know? It shows how kind he was. It's fucking loser. Oh. God damn it, man. Can't wait until we kill this guy. Hell yeah. He's the one success in their family. Aww. That's so nice. Okay, alright. I love Sora, man. What a sweet woman. Wow. Okay, so just before I just want to wrap my head around like something with the family, because so there's Reiju, Ichiji, Niji, Sanji, and Yonji, right? And they were born, I believe, in that order. I imagine she's called Reiju. Zero, she was the first one. She was before even Ichiji. So, is the order of things that Reiju was born first, and then while Sora was pregnant with Ichiji, then she took the toxin. And then Ichiji, Niji, Sanji, and Yonji were all born, but for only Sanji, the poison actually stopped the process or whatever. That was the only one it properly disrupted it for. So I guess like my thoughts, like what I'm trying to figure out here is, firstly, was it when she was pregnant with Ichiji? Because I don't think they're quadruplets, right? Ichiji, Niji, Sanji, and Yonji. I don't think so, right? I mean, maybe they were, but I didn't think they were. I thought they were just born one after another. So yeah, I don't know about any of that, but I think the implication was that she like took the toxin while she was pregnant with Ichiji, because they were surprised that it wasn't like that the toxin didn't do anything to Ichiji and Niji and Yonji, or they were like relieved that it didn't. So that must mean that that's when she took the thing. And then if it only happened when she was pregnant with Sanji, I mean, I guess it could be the case that maybe Ichiji and Niji were born and she took it while pregnant with Sanji. But then I feel like they wouldn't have said it the way that they did, where they were like, oh, but like surprisingly they all grew up without whatever. Like I feel like they wouldn't have said that. So I think, yeah, I think it must have been when pregnant with Ichiji. But I guess my thinking is, they said that it's like the surgery or whatever that that makes it so they're not really human anymore, that they don't have like that it sort of takes away their feelings. She was strongly against turning U4 into cold killing machine. Turning U4. Okay. Then that's, I guess that's my question answered. Because my question was it only the 4 boys that had that surgery? See, in my head, it was like the surgery and whatever it is that made their bodies strong, it was synonymous with each other. But the thing is, didn't Reiju has it as well, doesn't she? The whatever it is that makes them strong, that's how she like survived the gunshot and stuff. Like she herself is like changed to be strong. I'm using terrible terms right now. I'm far from eloquent. But with this wording, she was strongly against turning U4 into cold killing machines. With this wording, it sounds like they only did whatever this major surgery is to the 4 of them. And also there's the fact that like this theoretically has like makes it so that you don't like you're not really human anymore, you don't really feel emotions properly, and yet like does this look like someone who doesn't feel emotions? So yeah, like I feel like, you know, whatever it is, it's something that was, and I'm saying whatever it is as if it's like a big mystery of the show. I don't think it is. I think they have explained this. I'm just being upfront about something that I think I missed, which is like what was the different surgeries that was taking place? Were there 2 different surgeries? One makes their body stronger, and that's what Reiju was included in that group. And was there another one that made them less human, and was that only the brothers that had that one? Or was it all one surgery? They all got it. Maybe Reiju is supposed, like, the implication is she's less human, which is why she was more apathetic and stuff. But then, like, you know, the fact that there's this, like, her crying here, you know, even, like, now she's crying here, and even with Sora, like, she was the one coming to Sora, giving her hugs, like, being really, really sweet to her. So, like, Reiju's been acting pretty human a lot. Is she a bit apathetic at times? Yeah, sure. Like a little bit. But not so much so that I would call it inhumane, you know? So yeah, I guess if it's been explained already in the show, I guess you can clarify that a little bit. Because yeah, like I feel like there's, you know, I feel like there's a link there that I think I've got, but I also might be confused about it. Anyway, I love Sora. Such a sweet woman. And I love Reiju, man. I'm so glad that when we jumped into this arc, I was like, oh, I like her design and she's interesting. But, like, then she was kind of just not helping, not really doing anything, and I was like, I think she might be just as bad as the rest of them. But then, like, as time went on, I was like, but it seems like maybe she cares, I don't know, and maybe we're gonna be able to turn her around eventually, like recruit her on our side. And then we see the flashback and it's like, oh no, we don't need to recruit her, she's always been on Sanji's side. She just kind of does it behind the scenes and she's not outwardly doing anything. And it's sort of like, it sort of clicks into place more and more. But now I just, like, unabashedly love her. Now she's just a great character. She's there for Sanji constantly, but is also, like, really playing down her role in his life. She really is, like, I helped you once, you don't need to pay me back for anything, like, I don't care. Like, she doesn't need to be like that. She can just accept Sanji's love, but she doesn't. She, like, plays it down and acts like it's not a big deal, even though it's one of the most important things that would have happened to him in his life, is getting him out of there. So, Reiju's so amazing, man. Yeah. And also, kind of crazy that she's like, hey, let's just let Big Mom do her plan. Like, I kind of like that, actually. That she's like, oh, Big Mom's planning to do a big thing to take down Germa. Well, Germa kind of sucks. So is there a reason we should be stopping this? And I like that. I think that's cool. Like, yeah, take down Germa. Fuck him. I want to see this big war between Big Mom's crew and Germa. It sounds cool. They can take each other out. The Straw Hats can finish off whoever's weakest. It's great. Alright, let's move on to the next episode. This is episode 820 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. I love that, Ojo-san. And that's the cube complete just in time? Yes, just in time. Alright, this episode is going to be called Reiju's big reveal. She's actually a traitor, and we see a third eye on Reiju's head. Oh yeah. Oh, fuck him up. Specific, fuck that guy in particular, I guess. This makes me want to play Pirate Warriors. Cadenza? I don't know if I should write his name down. I'm gonna write it down, as for respect for him. Oh, right. Second gear! It's true. The world doesn't need you. It's true. Yeah, just leave Germa to die. Modified not to disobey him. Oh, we're back to here? Is it still going? What? Is he becoming a chicken now? Like he hatched? No fucking way did he hatch. Viscount Hyoko? What is that? What the fuck? Reborn and evolves more. Whoa! Oh my god. Interesting. Okay. So when I said before Pedro fucked him up, he did, but now he's stronger, so let's see. Kind of a cool new design for Baron Tamago. Oh, back to this as well. Oh, it's so good. He does. What can you even do, Brooke? Well, theoretically, Luffy's gonna be immune to Zeus, right? Because it's like lightning. And if we had Sabo here, he'd be immune to Prometheus. Wouldn't that be such a cool combo? Luffy and Sabo? Nice. Oh! Oh! Jesus, man. He's still going. Oh my god. Was that Napoleon stopping it? Oh my god, these are crazy battles. I can't believe Brook is 1v1ing the Emperor right now. Oh, it's kind of cool, the movement. That seems like that sword's really far away. Do you have a plan? Oh. Oh my god. Did you just slice the egg out of him again? No fucking way. What if he evolves again? Oh my god, he's evolving again! Every time you beat him, an egg comes out. Oh no, what's this guy's name? Count Niwatori. Yes. Yeah, the egg fruit, no big surprise there. Yeah. Attack them while they're transforming. Learn from Eren Yeager. Oh. Oh! Yes, blow them all up. Including Count Niwatori. Oh my god. Oh my god! Pedro, you were standing in the middle of that. Did he just blow himself up? Oh. Okay, this guy's strong. To be able to take the Hawk Gatling. Oh. Nice. Hell yeah. Oh my god, choke him out with your arm. Hell yeah. Oh, fucking Luffy, you're doing great. Oh. Damn. That reminds me of, Demon Slayer. Like, even if you get an opening, sometimes their skin's just too hard to slice through the neck. Damn, the music just cut. Jesus. It's hard to tell when Brook's dead. I mean, he's always dead. Oh my god, he's still fucking at it. Ooh. Actually damaged Prometheus. That's pretty good. Oh my god. I think he pissed Mama off. Those legs. Oh my god. Just tell him what you want him to do straight out and he'll do it. Damn. Permission to kill them. God damn. She respects him. Damn. How is he gonna make the imprint? I mean, he's naked. Look at that. Look at his bones. Oh, Pudding's here. Like you messed up with Roger. Hear the voice of all things. Oh, she's being cute again. It's true power. So is that what her third eye? Not pure blood. Okay. Three-eyed peoples. Not a very creative name, but... Oh my god! Oh my god! This is intense. You killed him. Alright, you guys are looking for a Gatling. Are they fake? Oh, you swapped them out! Nice! Oh, this is great. She's set everything up for you to be amazing. This is like Jinbei telling Luffy to remember what he has left, you know? Sanji's having to... Yep, Sanji's having to think of what he has. Grab your bento box and head over to Luffy and stuff it in his mouth. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, wow, lots of good stuff that episode. So we got an answer to why Prometheus, Zeus, and Napoleon are different, because she said, I'm giving them my soul directly. So yeah, like I guess that's a different thing than like just giving. Well, okay, yeah, I guess it's I mean, exactly as she says. So like, she doesn't generally want to give items her soul because it's giving her own life force, right? But I guess to certain really powerful things, if she gives her soul, it makes them incredibly powerful. But obviously it's at the cost of part of her life, I'd imagine. So generally she gives other people's souls to other things. But that makes sense. So that makes sense why they are particularly extremely strong. Very cool. Oh, there was a lot of good stuff in this episode. So yeah, Reijo said in this episode she's modified not to disobey. That might answer my question from last discussion, or at least somewhat. Like, yeah, she's still a bit human, but specifically still has adjustments to her that make her have to follow what Judge wants. Except I wonder how far that goes, because it's like not disobeying. Well, what do you consider not disobeying? Right now she's kind of disobeying. She's specifically holding back information that could get the Vinsmokes killed. She's helping out Sanji, which, you know, they don't want her to do. She even switched out his bracelets, which is like a direct breach of what they were trying, like what she was told to do, I imagine, which is give him these exploding bracelets, and she swapped them out for non-exploding bracelets. So I guess it doesn't go very far. It's just, I imagine she just can't like yell at or punch Judge or something, you know, like she can't do things that are directly in front of him doing things against him. And we had continuation of the Tamago and Pedro fight, but Tamago, it's really funny. The idea that you beat him, you cut an egg from him, the egg hits the ground, he grows out of that egg and becomes a new form, and then that battle ends with him cutting him in half and another egg comes out. It's just funny, the idea that goes on forever, but I don't think it does. I think like either this is the final form now, or maybe there's like one more, but like it, and I say now that's assuming Pedro's explosion didn't completely take him out, you know, because right now he is Count Niwatori. So I'm trying to figure, like, I want to know if either they built up Count Niwatori so much just to have him be taken out by the explosion as kind of a gag, but also kind of to show how badass Pedro is, or Niwatori survives that, and now we're gonna have to deal with him while Pedro's injured from an explosion. I'm imagining Pedro's gonna be injured from the explosion. I imagine he's not just gonna die like that, and I also imagine he can't just survive that point blank explosion with no injuries. So I guess we'll see. But I was thinking this episode, and I did say it out loud, that Luffy is, like, the good thing about when Luffy faces Big Mom is Zeus is probably not going to be effective against him. And I also said that Sabo would be a good counter to Prometheus. And I don't know, Zoro would be a good counter to Napoleon. I don't know how far that goes. But like, if like it won't happen. I mean, never say never, I guess. It could happen. But like, it'd be interesting if you had Sabo show up and then Luffy and Sabo are like fighting together against Big Mom, and Sabo is like taking whenever Prometheus attacks, Sabo blocks the hit, and then whenever Zeus attacks, Luffy blocks the hit, and it's like they're perfectly complementing each other and taking out Big Mom. I think that would be really cool, but I don't think that will happen. It's just the first thing that popped into my head when I saw, like, it feels like, you know, if Oda's introducing these powers, like, I feel like Oda would write the villain with the battle with Luffy in mind. I feel like that's got to be the case. Like, there's basically no way that he wrote Eneru back in Skypiea. There's no way that he wrote Eneru and didn't think about the lightning thing until towards the end of the arc, you know? Like, until later when Luffy shows up, like, he's planning how Luffy shows up, and then he's like, okay, so he attacks Luffy, and then, you know what? I guess it wouldn't do anything. I'm just gonna write that in. Like, I don't think he did that. I think it's like, from conception, he was like, oh, we need Luffy to come across the strongest possible enemy that he can come across, that he can defeat. So what's the strongest possible enemy that he can come across that he can defeat? How about someone who's like a literal god, but he's the perfect counter to him? So then he comes up with lightning, and then, you know, probably figures out the rest from there, right? That's how I imagine it works. And then, you know, like, I imagine it varies as you go on, like, introducing a lot of villains. He doesn't necessarily need to think of the fight every single time, but I think, like, while developing it, he's probably got an idea in mind of, like, oh, while developing their powers, here would be a cool thing that I could do in the battle with Big Mom and Luffy. So therefore, I'll introduce this power beforehand. Like, he comes up with the way to defeat it, and then he comes up with how to make it strong, other than that weakness that will be exploited, you know? So, like, with that in mind, I feel like, why would he have one of her main powers be Zeus? If theoretically, and I don't know this for a fact, but if theoretically it wouldn't work on Luffy. Now, I mean, realistically, in this universe, it wasn't created to fight Luffy. I'm just saying from a writing perspective. Like, in universe, Big Mom would create it because it's going to be effective against almost every single person. It just happens not to be good against Luffy. But, like, from Oda's perspective, why would he write that? And so I'm just interested, because I feel like you would develop a lot of these powers to make the fight with Luffy more interesting. But if one of the major powers just doesn't do anything to him, like, why would that be the case, you know? Or is it like that they're gonna do that to show, like, to make it so that Luffy has a bit more of an advantage on other people because one of the major powers doesn't work on him, And so then, like, he kind of has a bit more of a head start. Maybe it'll make Big Mom more pissed. Maybe because of that, she'll destroy Zeus, take the soul from Zeus and put it in Prometheus and make Prometheus stronger, you know? And so instead of being Zeus and Prometheus, she just completely gives up on Zeus in a fit of anger, you know? Like, something like that. Like, I'm not saying Oda made a mistake in, like, developing this power. I'm saying I think there's a reason that one of the powers is like a lightning type power when it's already been established in the series that Luffy is immune to that. So I'm really interested to see how that plays out. Looking at... Oh, yeah, in this episode, they said... Okay. So, when it comes to Roger lore, we have, like, simultaneously a lot of Roger lore and not much, you know? But she says in this episode, and now this is something that I feel like maybe we've heard this alluded to, but I don't know if we've heard it be said in this way before. Now, I'm sure I'm going to get a comment that's like, actually in episode, 451, if you go back to that, they spent an entire episode talking about this or something. Like, that tends to happen, right? Where I just, like, for example, I mean, we saw Pudding back in Fishman Island. Like, I think that there's stuff we've never seen before. If you had asked me if I had seen Pudding's design beforehand, like a three-eyed girl in One Piece, I would say absolutely not. I would have been confident that I had never seen a three-eyed girl in One Piece. And yet when I saw her, I went, oh, look, she's got three eyes. What the hell? Like, I actually said it out loud. I acknowledged the character and then forgot about it only a few hundred episodes later, you know? So, like, take this with a grain of salt. When I say, I don't know if we've ever heard this be explicitly said before. He read the stone with his strange ability that allowed him to hear the voice of all things. So he has an ability, like, when they say that, the first thing I think is like, oh, it's like observation haki, but it's really, he's got really strong observation haki. And maybe that's what it is. But I don't know. And it's kind of made me think, did Roger have a devil's fruit? I can't remember how much I've speculated about this. And if I've really thought about it really at all. But, like, could he have like, it feels like the King of the Pirates. It kind of makes sense. Basically every strong pirate in this show, like all the strongest pirates, basically all of them have a devil's fruit. I say basically all of them. Shanks, as far as we know, does not. At least he certainly did not, like, originally. It's possible he has one now, but I doubt it. He doesn't really need it. We know he's incredibly strong without it, and he's got immensely strong haki. But, a vast majority of, like, Kaido... Does Kaido have a devil's fruit? I guess we don't know. Or maybe we do know. I can't remember if he does. I kind of doubt he does. Especially since he does the whole thing of, like, he's tried to end his own life a bunch. If he had a devil's fruit, I feel like he could drown himself. But, I mean, I guess you could try to drown yourself otherwise. But no, I feel like... I think it's really hard to drown yourself. Unless you, like, tie yourself to something really heavy. But since he's Kaido, he would be so strong, he'd break out of that and swim back up, So, but if you had a devil's fruit, he'd just get in the ocean, and I imagine he'd just die. So I feel like Kaido maybe doesn't have a devil's fruit. But Big Mom does. Whitebeard did. Blackbeard has 2. Like, I'm thinking of all the strongest pirates that we've got out there. Obviously, Doflamingo had one. Moria had one. It's sad to put Moria up there, but I'm just thinking of the things. Hawkeye does not. I guess it's like most of them do, but not like a vast majority. It's like, maybe it's like 70% of them do. But yeah, I wonder if like this strange ability that they say is a devil's fruit, or if it's just strong observation haki, or if it's something else. But it allows him to hear the voice of all things. It would explain why he heard Zunisha, right? Didn't they say he could hear Zunisha, but he couldn't respond? Was that what it was? And so Momo could respond. Momonosuke could respond because he had the blood or whatever, the royal blood or whatever it was that made him be able to respond. But Luffy could also hear it but couldn't respond, right? So can Luffy also hear the voice of all things? Like, does Luffy have this same ability? And if that is the case, can Luffy read poneglyphs? Because it might be like an incredibly special version of observation haki, right? And it's like such an incredible version of observation haki that that only very like a very select number of people can ever awaken. And by very select, it's like maybe there's like 3 in the world, and it's Gold Roger, it's Luffy, and it's one other person or something, you know? And so it's, what if it's like, oh, this is such a reach. What if it's Kobe, you know? Because it's like, the reason I say that is because like when Kobe awakened his observation haki or whatever, it was like such a strong experience for him. He was hearing all the voices crying out and stuff. And I've always thought like that was such a strong representation of observation haki. And we've seen it with Isa and stuff in Skypiea. So for some people, especially when they don't know how to control it, that is what it's like. But I just like, it was just the first thing that jumped into my head of like, what if, you know, they wanted to really make the series, you know, really come around in the end. So it's like the 2 people from the first episode, Luffy and Kobe, like the first 2 people who meet each other that are main characters, they are the 2 that also have Gold Roger's gift. And they went on different journeys, Kobe going through the Marines and Luffy going through the pirate world, come out together at Rafto again, and they're both like facing each other, but we find out that they both have Gold Roger's gift of hearing all voices or something. It'd be kind of crazy and cool, I think. But I don't know. That's like such a reach. But I mean, you know, sometimes those wild theories that you throw out there, when they come true, people come back to the video and go like, I can't believe it, but this YouTuber predicted it. And if that happens, you know, you guys have to, everyone needs to share my video to 40 people. That's the rule, okay? If that theory ends up being true. But yeah, so I guess my current theory though is like, if Roger is able to hear the voice of all things and he used that to read poneglyphs, my current theory is that Luffy can read poneglyphs and doesn't know it. Now, he's looked at poneglyphs before. The only time I can think of him being in a room with a poneglyph actively... Oh no, he was in the room with the road poneglyph, and he didn't seem to react to that. I was thinking of like when him and Crocodile and Miss All Sunday were all in the room together. But there was the road poneglyph. But like genuinely, maybe he's just never tried. You know, like that would be a very Luffy thing where it's just like he looks up and he goes, well, yeah, I can read that. Can't everyone? You know, like, or not like that, but basically like someone's like, hang on, you know, Roger could read this, and he looks up at it and he goes, Roger could read that? And then he starts focusing on it and he realizes he can understand the symbols or whatever. You know, or maybe there'll be a scene in the future where he's like standing next to a poneglyph, and like when he's standing next to it, I mean, it could even be in this arc, you know, like they need to get the road poneglyph before they leave, because they said to Robin they'd get a copy of it, but they have nothing to take the copy with, and they're being chased, and they like get chased into this room, and they get backed into a corner, and his back goes against the road poneglyph, and then he hears a voice talking to him, and he's like, what's that voice? And the voice is like, X 463 Y negative 1100, and he's like, what is that voice? And it just keeps repeating numbers, and like he writes down those numbers or whatever, and then like later tells Robin, and she goes, what? You deciphered the poneglyph. And it's because the poneglyph like spoke to him, you know? But I don't know, like if that was the case, if that was how Roger's ability worked, how would Roger have written on the poneglyph? Because there was that point where he was like, Gold Roger was here, LMAO, like on the poneglyph. So he straight up knew the language. So I guess it wouldn't work just by, anyway, this is all speculating just based on like thinking that Luffy has the same ability that he does, but I don't know. Is that it? That all I want to say? I think so. Let's move on to the next episode. This is episode 821 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we go. Okay, that's how far I got in the cube. Pretty far. This episode is going to be called the New Egg Revival. Tamago's final form. Count Niwatori, that's what it was called. Yeah, it's pretty insane. Oh my god, there's nothing left of him. Wait. He was saved! Oh my gosh! That's awesome. So he really was planning to blow himself up. Oh, maybe he wasn't planning to blow himself up. Oh my god, he used the explosion to propel him? That's very useful, honestly. Mm-hmm. You gotta show the portraits. Aww. He's so pretty. Oh my god. She just sees them all as so pretty. Honestly, it'd probably work. Mm-hmm. Just casually beating the shit out of people while moving through. Nice! He's using Baron Tamago's moves. Cabaletta. No, that was his brother, right? Yeah. Oh! You already beat one of them. Oh my god. Oh my god. Are they just so fast? Oh god damn, yeah, he's like keeping up with second gear speed. Oh, he's still so hungry. We need Sanji. This is what Luffy just did to his brother. Yeah, there you go. I didn't know he knew that. Oh my god. Go into fourth gear and fuck this guy up. Oh. Now that your arms are up there, bite into your arm and blow into it. I mean, it's probably a waste to use 4th gear on this guy, but... Oh, hell yeah! Rifle, right? Hawk rifle, of course. Yeah, go for it. Beeline there. Oh, our jobs! We have to try. Sanji, I'm hungry! He literally says that. I like Nami's make do dress, her like overalls. Come on, you guys think you can take Jinbei? I wouldn't even try. Yeah, he's struggling a bit, but it's fine. Hey! Jinbei, you need to... Like, if you run with your back to the people who are shooting constantly, Nami's in the most danger. You can take some bullets, you're a fish man. Oh, there are mirrors everywhere here, though. Mirrors, mirrors on the wall. Yes, here we go. Oh no! Nami's gonna electrocute Chopper. Aww. Nami, look what you've done. Well, there you go, power scalers. Chopper vs Nami, Nami wins. Haha. Oh. Whose arm is this? Was that Reiju? It's Reiju. So, that means Sanji was just here recently. I can't open it. Then he must not be in there. Mm-hmm. And he might be willing to talk finally. He knows. He's like, whoa, you have nice thighs. No, it's a recent thing. Yeah, that's true. But he needs food. Yeah, so Reiju was there to hear him make that pledge. And sees that he's sticking to it. just gonna jump out the window. Oh my god. Sanji, can you hear his voice? Now you guys gotta meet up and talk about this properly. And you gotta feed him. Oh my god. Maybe you shouldn't have made it out of gingerbread, dude. Try bricks next time, loser. Oh, I see there are bricks there, but they're probably gingerbread bricks. God damn. God damn, man. So Luffy was looking for Sanji urgently because Sanji was getting tricked by Pudding. So he was like, look, if I don't tell Sanji about this right now, he's gonna be in danger, everything's gonna be fucked. But then it seems like now that Reiju said, don't worry, he knows about Pudding, Luffy's like, oh, great, awesome, okay. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go sit out in that random field that I was at before and wait for Sanji to come to me. And that is fucking crazy. Like, he's so close to Sanji, he probably would have been able to find him soon enough. But instead, he made a commitment. He said, I'm gonna stay right here until you come. And now he's gonna stay there. But, like, is Sanji gonna come? I don't know. I don't know if he would, you know? Oh, that's so stressful. Like, Luffy's resolve is so stressful sometimes, because it's cool and great that he has such resolve, but then at the same time, it's like, but, you know, the core of what you want, like, the bit of what you want that's important, you can get in other ways, you know? Like, the idea of, like, you know, you're gonna wait here for Sanji to come back. You can be spiritually waiting for him. You know, you can be, what you can mean by that is, like, you can be patient. And, like, understanding if it takes him a little bit to understand that he wants to come back to the crew. But that doesn't mean you have to literally sit on that spot, you know? But I think Luffy can't do things that are purely metaphorical. He has to also attribute a physical attribute to it so that he knows that he's doing it properly. Like, he needs to do these things in the right way, which is very stressful as a viewer, because it's like, you're in such a dangerous situation and Luffy is putting himself in more danger on purpose to stick to things that he said. But I mean, that's like such an Oda writing thing, such a One Piece thing. Like, it's the same thing with Sanji, honestly. Like, it's the same thing with Sanji's, like, I don't want to hurt a woman, I'll never kick a woman, right? It's like, he could stick to the values behind that action, which is like, I want to value the kind of person that Zeph taught me to be, and I never want to be someone who's, like, disgracefully victimizing people and treating women as lesser and, like, and all of that, you know? Like, that he could keep to those morals while still being in a situation where it's like, well, this woman is trying to kill me, and if I don't fight back, my friends are going to be in danger, so I gotta fight. But no, like, Sanji also has that sort of hard line where he's like, I don't care if I'm risking my own life, and I guess I don't care if I'm risking my friend's life as well. I'm not gonna be this kind of person who attacks a woman. Or fights a woman, I should say. Attacks sounds like he's starting it, which he did not start it back in CP9. So, yeah, I'm just saying, like, both Luffy and Sanji have those, like, hard lines that it's like, it is something that they feel like they have to stick to no matter what. And I think it comes from a place of, like, you know, it's almost like it's too much pride. It's a flaw. I think it's a character flaw as much as it is, like, it's the good thing about it is that they're strong enough to stick to it. The flaw is that they think they have to stick to it. I think there are ways to be to be moral by making, like, moral judgments on the spot. But I think the thing is, like, Sanji is too stubborn. And I think Luffy is stubborn as well, but I think the actual problem with Luffy is Luffy is dumb, and Luffy knows that he's dumb, right? We know that Luffy is incredibly emotionally intelligent, and he's very battle intelligent, but he's very dumb. And I think he knows that he's dumb, and the thing about that is he then makes his decisions based on that idea. So when he sets a hard rule for himself like that, I think one of the reasons he's sticking to it so hard is he's like, I'm not smart enough to make moral judgments on what is right and wrong, what the exact like proper thing to do in a situation is. So instead, all he has to go back to is his values. He can't like look at a situation and go like, well, that right there is morally wrong because of this and this and this, you know. He can't be like, oh, Immanuel Kant said that. Like he's not going to be able to do any of that. So he's going to just go back to like, what do I know I value? What do I know I care about? And so in this situation, his values are, he cares about Sanji and he made a promise, and he knows that he values promises. Promises are what matters. So his word, he said, I'm not going to eat, I'm going to stay in that spot. So he's going to stay starving and he's going to go right back to that spot. Even though it's a dumb move right now, it still is like all he has to fall back on. So like, I respect the hell out of it. And I think it's such a good writing decision from Oda. While I can also say that Luffy's an idiot for doing it. I like how many people are being saved by Chopper and Carrot right now. That it's really cool. So it's kind of awesome that like you had that Broly thing, which actually seemed quite detached, but now it's like coming together and is actually like a pretty vital part of the arc. It's a way that you can get a lot of these characters back together in a way that makes a lot of sense. So I really enjoyed that. I think that's great. All right, let's move on to the next episode and the final episode we're doing in this video. This is episode 822 of One Piece. Here we go. Okay, recap Rubik's. Here we fucking go. That's as far as I got in the cube, and this episode is going to be called Luffy Returns to His Spot. A foolish mistake. Okay, dudes. Luffy could be missing 2 arms and probably still take you both. Gum Gum Rocket. No, he's just putting himself on. I don't remember, dude. In fact, you don't know because you got knocked out before you got taken here, huh? Okay. Okay, guys. You have to be careful he doesn't accidentally eat the ground, the buildings, the rain. Like right now, he's face down in syrup. The temptation to just lick it up. Oh my god, I didn't realize Nami's pants are like floofy at the bottom. What about her? Oh, right. Yeah, it is. What are you gonna do about it, loser? He was like, it was gonna be a bad idea no matter what. Oh yeah, cause it... Yeah, cause then you owe her souls as well, right? Like years of your life. God damn. So Jinbei definitely made the right choice then. Yes, show bro. Damn, it's pretty impressive that he cut Prometheus so deep. Yeah, it is strong. Yeah, Brooke's not in the loop yet. Oh my god. Damn. But she dealt with it. Or so she thinks. Yeah. Brooke might think he's the first one finding out about this, but he's actually probably one of the last now that Chopper met up with Nami and stuff. This is reminding me of, I'm watching Fate Zero right now, and they have a gun that's like can take out magic mages very well, which is very similar. That's when. Damn, she has it all planned out. God damn. Sounds like a pretty decent plan. I like the music behind this scene. For a second I thought that was... Ah, nice. That was lucky. For a second I thought it was a snail for Reiju because it had like pink hair, but it's not. It's like the demon girl with pointy ears, like arrow ears. That girl. I should say arrow horns. Cockadoo. Luffy and Nami. I like how Nami's getting half the credit for taking down Cracker. The fuck? Wait. Why is he lying about it? Oh, it's just that? He just doesn't wanna... Right. Damn. Damn, they think all of us are done for. When actually only Brooke is the one that's caught. Everyone else is fine. I was gonna say, yeah, I did. It looks like Montour didn't fully trust him. Oh man, looks like Luffy's starting to struggle a little bit against peacekeepers. I mean, he's still being a badass, but he was taking out so many of them before. Oh no, Pinocchio's here. Oh dear. He's so exhausted, man. Exhausted and hungry and in pain. Oh god. I can't wait till he eats something. I'm so excited. Oh boy. Oh boy. Whoa. That's kind of cool. Wait, the guy is the ball? Is that what I just saw? He can turn into a ball? Yes, he did. Now bring it to Luffy. Oh. Wait. It's all their favorite foods? That's so sweet. Oh, I didn't notice that. I did notice it was a strange combination. That makes a lot of sense. Nice. Luffy catching a blade in his mouth like he did in like episode 2 or 3 of One Piece against Buggy. He's ready, man. Yeah, he does. He turns into a bull. It's crazy. Ooh! He's dead. The bull didn't help you. These guys would take 3 seconds to defeat if he wasn't so hungry and tired. Oh. Oh, nice. God damn, man. That's a very short life, dude. Excuse me? Put it back. That's Luffy's. Yes! There's someone hungry that needs it. Yes! Oh my god. Sanji, go over there. Go. You're going to feed someone who's hungry. Aww. I'm so excited for Sanji to feed Luffy. I'm so excited. A big problem with this episode is, like, no matter how much I've eaten before I record these videos, watching these episodes where Luffy is so hungry makes me feel like I haven't eaten in days. Like, I just feel that suffering. I feel that pain. Now, frankly, I also didn't eat a whole lot today, so I also might be legitimately a bit hungry. But still, my point still stands. Yeah, so I can't wait to see Sanji feeding Luffy. I hope he actually feeds him. I hope he actually, like, they sit across from each other and he, like, just, you know, rips off pieces of meat and puts it into his mouth, and his fingers linger in his mouth a little bit, and Luffy has to lick the sauce off of his fingers. What other notes do I have? There was the thing about Opera lying. When Opera lied, it reminded me, and this often does, I think I bring this scene up so much in a lot of shows that I react to, but there's a scene in Dr. Stone where at some point someone like accidentally sets off one of their traps. Like, they have a bunch of, like, pitfall traps, right, that, like, trap people in if they go down them. And so they've got a bunch of pitfall traps, and then at some point someone accidentally sets one off. Like, one of the henchmen accidentally set one of the pitfall traps off, and someone in charge really punished them for it. Like, I forgot what they did, but, like, really did horrible things to them to punish them for the fact that they made that mistake, right? Then later, when the main characters are getting away from those henchmen, the henchmen start chasing after them, but then they freeze up and they can't chase after them because they know there are the pitfall traps between them. And it's not like they can't chase after them because they might fall in the pitfall traps. They can't chase after them because they're afraid that they're going to set one off when they weren't supposed to, which is what gets punished. And then Senku makes a comment that's like, and that's what happens when you punish a mistake too hard. And, like, I always think about that, because I'm someone who, I will constantly, on this channel and on my main channel, I constantly talk about, like, the idea of, like, positive reinforcement versus negative reinforcement, and how there's, like, merits to both, but it's really about finding what suits the particular person. But, like, when it comes to punishment, I mean, the harsher your punishment is, probably the worse you are at whatever it is you're doing. Like, harsh punishments, like really harsh punishments for anything, or for most things, tend to be pretty bad at what it's supposed to do. And here is, like, a good example of that, where it's like Big Mom harshly punishes her subordinates, really, really harshly punishes them, and because of that, she doesn't have loyalty. She does have a bit of loyalty. Like, I mean, there are people who are loyal to her, but for them, like, but some of the people aren't loyal to her. They're scared of her. And you may think that's just as good as loyalty, but it really, really isn't. Because someone being scared of you means there's a part of them that wants to turn on you. There's a part of them that wants to see you taken down, that wants to see you fail. They don't like you. And at the same time, if they're scared of you, they aren't giving things their all because they want it to happen. They are just terrified of, like, letting you down. If you discipline someone too, like, if you, like, discipline someone too harshly with negative reinforcement, what you are training them to do is, like, they don't see the action as the problem. What they see as the problem is you. You are the cause of their suffering. So it's like with a dog. If you, if like a dog does something horrible, you know, like a dog tears up something, right? And then you punish the dog super, super harshly. The dog doesn't think, oh, that thing I tore up, I tore it up and then I, you know, suffered, so I shouldn't tear things up or otherwise I'll suffer. A lot of the time they think like, oh, I tore something up and then that person right there punished me. So that person is gonna make me suffer if I do things that I want to do. So what I have to do, this is what the dogs think. What I have to do is do it without them finding out. Because if they find out, then we've got a problem. So just a lot of the time they just find ways to do it more sneakily. They just hide it, you know? And that's when you, like, things get even worse, is when you're hiding things. It's, you know, you'll hear the classic thing in of like parents saying like they'd rather their like their children drink in the house with them for the first time or whatever. Like, instead of saying to your kids, don't drink, you're not allowed to drink, drinking is bad for you, it's horrible. Instead, if it's like, okay, you want to drink? All right, let's have some drinks together. Like, I will show you what drinking is like, and I will make sure you're doing it responsibly, and we're gonna do it properly. Because if you say no drinking, you can't drink at all, what do you think is gonna happen when eventually they're out of the house and someone goes, hey, do you want to drink? They're gonna fucking go wild with it, and they're gonna like rebel super hard against it because they don't see the problem as the drinking, they see the problem as you finding out about the drinking. So yeah, it's a big thing that, like, punishments, you know, people go too hard on punishments, and Big Mom went too hard on punishments, so much so that Opera now, like, Jinbei betrayed them, and it would be very useful information to know, hey, Jinbei came in here and attacked me and let Luffy and Nami free, so now they're out there. But he doesn't want to say that because he's then saying, hey, I was doing my job, but then I failed at my job. And Big Mom punishes people who fails at their job. So that's the last thing he can say. He can't speak up on that. So now Big Mom's crew have less information because of the way that she runs things. And I think that's really interesting. Whereas, like, compare that to Dressrosa, Doflamingo. Doflamingo, when people made mistakes, for the most part, other than, like, Bellamy, who I also think he didn't really consider as, like, part of their family or whatever. But for the most part, when people made mistakes, he went like, oh, that's frustrating, but it's fine. You did fine, right? And people were pretty loyal to Doflamingo, you know? I feel like Doflamingo's crew cared about him a lot and were very loyal to him and helped him out wherever they could, you know? Like, they were pretty tight-knit. So yeah, like, that's the difference. And that's a really important thing, I think. And like Luffy, I mean, Luffy holds people accountable. But if you make a mistake, a lot of the time he'll laugh it off. But if you do something that he finds egregious, he will tell you. And he'll talk it out with you. And then clear the air. And then he's fine with you again. But he does it in a way that, like, you know, that the other person will respond to. He's very good at, like, finding their emotional boundary and hitting that, you know? Like, I don't think he would have punched Vivi if he didn't think that she was strong enough to actually take that properly, you know? And I don't think he knows this, like, intellectually, but I think he knows this instinctively. He knows where people's lines are. There are people who punching them would not work. Like, that wouldn't be a good way to get through to them. But with someone like Vivi, with someone like, you know, Zoro, and I mean, Sanji does it to Luffy at one point. Remember when Luffy and Usopp are fighting, and Luffy's about to say something like really harsh to Usopp, and Sanji comes up and kicks Luffy across the room and says, like, don't say what you were about to say. Like, that is a moment where it's like Sanji knows that's how to get through to Luffy, you know? But those are them keeping each other, like, accountable. That's something they all want to do with one another. They want to make sure that they're all, like, on the same page. But like, when they do make genuine mistakes, a lot of the time all the others do is go like, idiot, okay, don't worry, we'll handle it, and they help each other out with it, you know? So I think it's a good contrast to see. I really enjoy that. I can't believe that I didn't notice that that the food that Sanji made was all their favorites. Like, I noticed the individual foods in there, and like I had thoughts about them, right? I'm just getting it up now, right? So like, when I saw this, I was like, oh, that's an interesting spread of food. And I think what I thought was, I saw the meat there and I went like, okay, well, that's, you know, that's classic One Piece meat. But I guess what I mean there is that's like Luffy's favorite meat. But like, in my mind, it's just like, oh, One Piece food, whenever they show food, it's got meat like that. That looks like that to it. I did notice the burger there, and I thought the burger was like interesting to have in there. It was interesting to have like curry and a burger, because the burger is so American and curry is so Japanese. But it, like, to me, I was like, yeah, I was just like, oh, he's just putting an interesting spread so that, you know, no matter what, Pudding is going to find something that she likes in there. But it was because, I mean, the burger, American, because of fucking Frankie. So yeah, you have Nico Robin likes her little sandwiches, which makes sense. It's like a very refined thing. Of course, Zoro likes like Japanese type onigiri, all that sort of stuff. Oh my gosh, can I go like a little bit slower? Usopp just likes grilled fish, I guess. Which, you know, it feels like it's in character, but it's like, it's so simple. Yes, Frankie likes his burger and his cola and all of that. Brooke is the one who likes curry. So that's interesting. I didn't know that about him. Of course, Nami likes tangerines for obvious reasons. She absolutely adores them. That's such a cute picture of her. Luffy likes meat, and then Chopper likes chocolate. There we go. So yeah, like, all of that makes a lot of sense. And I really like that detail that he was making something for Pudding. He was like, I don't really know her very well. I don't know what she's gonna like. So I'm just gonna make a random assortment of foods that people would like. But really what he made was something that the people he cares about the most would like. So nice. Yeah, anyway. That's One Piece, guys. That's episodes 819 to 822. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support this video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I will see you next time. Goodbye.